Well, good morning. I'm Jeff Coleman.
And I'm Deborah Pinkerton. Welcome to Morning Light.
We're very glad you made it today. Well, as I mentioned on this show last week, 2026 is the 100th anniversary of Henry Ford's 9 to 5. The American workday celebrated in that 1981 #1 hit courtesy of
Dolly Parton.
You want to sing?
No, you can.
No, but how many of us still buy into that 40-hour work week or staying on the job until retirement for that gold watch? Polls show generations are divided on the ideal job. We're going to ask our hard-working panel to weigh in this morning on
9
the
to
topic.
5. That's right. And here's a preview of what's coming up later in the show. Everyone should experience the nature that God has created for us. Kenbrook Bible Camp and Retreat Center offers an oasis for people of all ages. You'll hear details of Kenbrook's summer program, plus learn about a special program that connects campers with grandparents.
We want people dreaming about summer camp today on a beautiful day like today. Well, 50 years ago, Americans heading into the workforce were looking for stable incomes and good benefits and a path to promotion. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, supervisors, managers were all those good ladders to climb. In 2026, though, social media influencers present a faster, less back-breaking path to success, from pool cleaners and hand models to product influencers. Shorter-term work with high payouts has become a pretty attractive alternative to the 9 to 5. We wish that was around when I was a teenager.
Well, it does seem like more people are looking for some type of alternative. According to data from the IMF and World Bank, America still ranks near the top of per capita incomes with more than $75,000 per person.
Not bad.
Not bad. But we have to say that is far behind Singapore and Luxembourg, but still in the first tier. Now, studies from Pew Research find younger workers are less satisfied with traditional jobs and workplace culture.
I hear this all the time. Especially high schoolers looking at going into college. Why do I have to? I really have to? Do I need a college degree? So are TikTok Reels really a window into a world of wealth without that back-breaking reality of the daily grind? Is AI and Bitcoin and online betting and endless day trading finally solving what Scripture calls the curse, which has plagued our daily work for quite a while now? Are we close to achieving a world where a leisure-driven lifestyle is the norm? Or, as many theologians contend, do we need to recover a vision for work and calling beyond finding ways to underwrite our wants and desires? Those are tough questions, but our Morning Light panel is ready. Pastor Joe Green, Robert William, and Pastor Dave Biser. Gentlemen, what were your first jobs? Robert? Was it a hand model? What was it?
Actually, it was on campus at college, and I was working in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
A dishwasher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable work there.
Yeah.
Dave?
I worked at the Lower Allen Sewage Treatment Plant doing painting and lawn mowing.
Oh, these are dirty jobs.
Dirty jobs. Right?
Come on, top it.
So are you saying my first job, period, or the first one?
Your first legal job, Joe?
My first legal job. Well, I was 10 years old. I used to deliver the Guide newspaper.
Is that legal?
I
Legal
think so.
10? Okay.
I was only 10, so...
on a bike?
No, I used to walk and do it. Yeah.
So, if you were to tell a 20-something today that the way to success is a 4-year degree and the American dream is within reach, and maybe with a graduate degree you can get your vacation house and you can pay for retirement, what I'm hearing a lot from the 20-somethings is, that's not going to be my life. I'm not going to do that. And if they do go to college, it is often to please grandparents or mom and dad. What is being lost? What is the disconnect between the vision for work that has been presented to them, the American dream, and the way that God intended for work to be? It's a big theological question there.
Yeah, and I would say that really we have some good and bad with the transition that has occurred.
Okay.
So we had our generation that, hey, you just work. You work for X amount of years and then you retire. You have to go to college. That was our goal. And I was one of the first in my family to go to college. Yeah. And so when you go to college, your expectation is you're going to get a good job. You're going to work till you stop working. But nowadays, it's not so cut and dry. Out of my 4 children, the one actually has he didn't go to college, but he's working, he's doing well. His sisters did go to college, but I told him that I want you to live your life with purpose, not necessarily just with the expectation that others put on you, but what is your path for life? And his path was not going to school. Right now, he may go in the future, but just to work and to live a fulfilled life. He helps us with our church and our ministry.
So is that what they're looking for? Is it purpose? Is that the quest?
Yes, I believe that they are looking for purpose because I've seen people, my grandparents and great-grandparents, they may have worked for 40 or 50 years, and then some of them end up passing soon after they retired. And so you just live the work, basically.
So is it the World War II generation? I mean, maybe a theory that's percolating in my head. They saw war. They saw what it was like to be deprived of daily certain necessities and things. They had a hardship culture, and they came back and they built things, they rebuilt the country, did all this great stuff. But then you fast forward to today, and young people are saying there's got to be more than retiring comfortably and being able to walk around a golf course. What are they looking for?
You know, I think we've clearly gone from in a transitional place from what it meant to work for life, and instead live in such a way that work is simply a tool. One of the things we do, it's a means to an end, right? Exactly. We've gone away from, you get up every morning and you work hard.
Because your work matters, right? Or has dignity.
Right, exactly. I know farmers have never taken a vacation in their lives, right? Yeah, they just can't. They get up early in the morning and they go to bed late at night, especially dairy farmers who are milking every day. So, we've gone away from that thought process. And I think generationally, generation after generation since then has always looked to see if there's a better way to do it than the generation. Why would I work as hard as my parents? Why would I do that? And I think that's the question they're asking. And so they're looking for an alternative. But purpose, if that alternative doesn't include that purpose, and you're exactly right, because we're all built to have a purpose. We have a God-shaped hole.
Because you can
when we fill that with God's purpose in our lives.
You don't want to stuff the hole with money.
Right, because that's what we try to do. Right.
So you work with students and with international students, and for many, the aspirational dream, the ticket out of poverty, for especially international students, is to come to America, to get a degree, and then get placed at a good job, and then maybe bring your parents over later. Are they finding, are people that are on that track finding that the dream is too short or too small? Are they looking as well for spiritual purpose, or is poverty so deeply ingrained that the spiritual piece is a little less so?
Well, when it comes to making a decision about higher education coming to the United States, you're already talking about a class of people that have some affordability to be able to send their son or daughter to come to the U.S.
Right.
So it's a different kind of a focus,
Whole mindset.
A whole mindset. Yeah, it is, and it's very much career focused and get settled here or something like that.
So how do you advise young people then who are saying, Robert, I hear your pitch about getting a college degree, but I want something more. I want my life to matter. For your daughters, what has been that conversation in your home?
Yeah, great question. Well, ever since we knew my wife was pregnant, we'd start praying for the child and God's purpose and will to be done. And we continued that as they grew older. They would hear us pray this over them. But we would be watching very carefully to see what gifts, talents, abilities, interests that they were showing. And we encouraged them in that path. And we can gladly say all our children have done well. And are well settled in terms of a job. They went through challenges, no question about it.
But it seems like the balance for you was the purpose, the spiritual, and the practical alignment of those talents.
Absolutely.
What advice have you given young people in your church and then your own children?
Absolutely. The advice I give is find your spiritual gifts, find what you're good at, because that's who God made you to be.
So how do you do that?
Find that. Well, you should be a part of a church that's teaching spiritual gift classes. You really should be a part of an organization, a faith-based organization that's giving you some sense of what your spiritual gifting is.
So there are people
biblically
who are watching who go, what are you talking about, spiritual gifting?
Oh, Google it, right?
Yeah.
There's a long list of what.
Give an example.
Biblically, stewardship, hospitality, giving, mercy.
So that's different
leadership,
than what you're good
preaching,
at.
teaching. Well, it's your natural tendency. It's where you naturally lean. And if you wake up in the morning and say, if I could do this today, then that's what I would love. And if I can I told my kids, find out what your spiritual gifts are, find out what you're good at, and then find somebody to pay you to do that.
Right.
And your feet will hit the floor every morning, energized and excited about what you get to do today, because it's who God created you to be. Now, a lot of people find themselves, they go that path, they go to college, they go into the workforce or whatever, and now they're sitting back saying, well, now I'm stuck.
Right.
What do I do now? Well, you turn that place into a place where you can bring your gifts. You have to take the perspective and change it around.
So pick off where he's talking about you may be in a career, or you may be at the end of a career, and you think, oh my, I really wish I would have.
Yeah.
Is there, yes, I was reading this morning, Moses starts, he's 80, or Aaron is 83, he's 80. So is it ever too late to start again and to pursue a calling, maybe not for money, but for your mission?
No, I don't think so. I think as long as you stay connected to God, that He's going to release and activate that aspect of your purpose in that season. Because, like Moses, even though Moses didn't start his real mission until he was 80, all those years leading up to that was preparing him for that moment. So he was in the desert for 40 years so he could navigate the desert. He went to Pharaoh's, he lived in Pharaoh's house so that he knew how to navigate the system of Egypt. And so all those things, in the natural mind, you might have said, man, my life is a waste. I'm 80 years old. What am I supposed to do? But I now recognize that those last 79 years were all leading up to this. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'm feeling much younger now. This conversation.
You got plenty of time, Jeff. Yeah.
Take the last 40 seconds or so and advice to someone who is really at the point of feeling complete and total despair about what to do with the rest of their life, whether it's 5 years or 50 or 75.
I experienced that some years ago when my job was phased out. And I felt totally lost because our self-worth is so often tied in with the work we do, especially as men. And it was very difficult, but it was a time of rest and seeking God. For number one, why did this happen? And I can't say I got an answer for that. But number two is waiting on the Lord. And in that desert, walking through that desert, friends stepped up to encourage me, pray for me, and give guidance. And circumstances just led to new doors. Honestly, Jeff, one last thought, and that is that God is with you, and
you're not alone in this.
You're not alone.
Yeah, right. That's a great final word. Thank you, Robert, very much. Well, coming up on Morning Light, it may be winter, but it's not too early to start thinking about summer camp. Kenbrook Bible Camp and Retreat Center is here to share details about its program. Up next, you're watching Morning Light right here on Lighthouse TV.
Welcome back. Kenbrook has been providing summer camp experiences for children and youth for more than 70 years, all while helping campers grow their relationship with Christ. And 2026 is no different. Joining us to share the details of this year's program is Development Director John Courchesne. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So remind us about Kenbrook Bible Camp and Retreat Center.
Yes, so Kenbrook started over 75 years ago, and literally it was a vision of a Sunday school class that wanted to provide a summer camp for children. And now all these years later, not only do we continue to provide that summer camp, but we're actually a year-round retreat center too. So people of all ages can come to Kenbrook and just find times to connect with God, themselves, others, and nature.
So let's talk about the summer camp program. It's cold outside and people may not be thinking, but you can actually sign up for summer camp right now. Talk to us about your program this summer.
Yes, so we are so excited to have summer camp again this week. We offer a day camp where kids of ages 6 to 10 will come and just be with us for the day. We also offer a residential camp, which is for children 6 to 17. And our theme this year is based on 2 Corinthians 5:17. It says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. So we're so excited to teach kids about how we can be transformed in Jesus and just inherit that new identity that he wants to give us.
Why don't you talk to us about some of the activities that the children will participate in?
So there's lots of fun things at camp. So they can do archery, boating. We have a climbing tower with a zip line, so they really enjoy that. But honestly, the highlight of the summer is the swimming pool. The kids love to swim and cool off in the hot summer months. And camp just gives us this unique opportunity for transformation because everything we do, we can weave Jesus into. So whether that's our breakfast time where we sing a song of worship to him, our conversations as we go from activity to activity, or even as we're encouraging a child to get on the climbing wall for the very first time and say, Jesus is with you in this. Like, he's going to give you the strength you need to do this. So we have this wonderful opportunity to, yes, have lots of fun, but we weave Jesus into everything that we do.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful place. I've been there a couple of times and just absolutely love it. So you're offering also something new this summer for the campers.
Yeah, so we found with some of our older campers, they were looking for a little bit more adventure. So we're starting a new program called Venture Out. And this is going to be an opportunity for them to travel away from camp during the week. And one is going to focus on backpacking. The other is going to focus on canoeing. So they're going to be going to these remote spots in Pennsylvania that are just absolutely beautiful. And it's a really unique way for them, again, to connect with God, to learn more about themselves and who they've been created to be, to connect with the other people in their group, and then do it in this beautiful setting of nature that God has provided for us.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Something that I think is fairly unique, you offer a program there that includes grandparents. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have a connection with Garden Spot Village, and we've started this program called Grandparents in Residence, and just a great way to connect the generations. So these grandparents come and they spend the week with our campers, and some of them really are drawn to the younger kids, and they want to care for children. Maybe they're struggling in an activity, or they're a little homesick and they just need to be cared and comforted. So our grandparents do that. Some of them are really connecting well with our young adults that come and serve for the summer. And you can imagine what a great opportunity this is for our grandparents to share wisdom with them, and again, to encourage and comfort them as they work through the summer.
Summer camp really is a place for great transformation, I think.
Yes, yeah, it's a unique opportunity where you kind of leave all the technology at home, there's less distractions, and you just really get to hear God's voice.
As we mentioned earlier, Kenbrook, though, offers year-round camping.
Yes, so we are a year-round retreat center, and of course, we have great places for young people to stay, but we also have hotel-style rooms if we have adults that want to come. So, if you're part of a church group, maybe you're looking for a place for a family reunion, maybe you're part of a scrapbooking group, or you like to do quilting. We have groups that come and do all of those things. And you come and you can enjoy wonderful lodging and food, and get to spend time with others that you love, and really grow closer to God through that experience.
And you have a dad's camp coming up.
We do. So we offer in the spring, we're doing our Dad Camp Middle School. So these are going to be a weekend away for dads that they can spend with their middle school students. Just a really great opportunity for them to connect and keep that connection going as their kids are getting older.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks so much for being with us and sharing with us all these opportunities.
Yes, thank you so much.
If you're interested in learning more or signing your child up for Kenbrook Summer Camp, check out Kenbrook.org. Coming up next on Morning Light, creating a faith legacy for future generations. As we mentioned, Kenbrook offers a unique opportunity to connect grandparents and campers. You will hear the details next. In our last segment, you heard about Kenbrook's new summer program, New Creation. But you may not know that Kenbrook works with Garden Spot communities to connect the generations. Joining me is Garden Spot resident Don Aldrich. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, remind us about Garden Spot communities.
Well, Garden Spot Communities is a faith-based nonprofit, the largest portion of which is Garden Spot Village, located in New Holland, Pennsylvania. That's where I live, along with about 1,100 senior residents, served by approximately 600 wonderful staff people, where together we pursue purposeful living in community inspired by the life of Jesus.
And one part of that purposeful living is something that has been created between Garden Spot and Kenbrook, where you can go there and volunteer and help with campers.
Yes, and that really is a great opportunity as we reach out to community and bridge across generations. I served there at Kenbrook as a grandparent in resident late June last summer. Campers at that week were 8 to 12 years old. And my only responsibility when I was there technically was to be available, as we heard from John earlier, and to speak to staff and campers. I love the camping experience and love to be engaged, so I got involved in a number of activities. Examples might include helping on nature walks, hikes, pursuing, discovering life in local streams, etc., a low ropes course, and I even helped in an art project and those kinds of things. So it was a great opportunity to interact and to show both staff and the campers God's love in a variety of ways.
What was it like working with the campers?
Well, it was really very exciting. All kinds of opportunities to model, etc. As you know, God created each of us in his own image and gave us responsibilities. So those of us who've had more life experience can serve as models, as guides, as encouragement to younger adults or younger people, regardless of whether they're 8 years old or 20 or whatever kind of thing. So it was a really great experience connecting across generations. It is as great as Kenbrook experience is, it's but one example of who we are at Garden Spot Village. For example, we residents support and volunteer to serve a free meal to people in our community once a month. Or we work with local ministries, CrossNet Ministries, Release Time, obviously with local churches and that sort of thing. And we also offer a wisdom course where staff and residents interact with college students for a semester. Or many people at Garden Spot provide our pen pals with elementary school. And then for me personally, I also serve as a high school teacher at Anchor Christian Academy.
Oh my
all
goodness.
Because we're interested in reaching across generations and serving and interacting with community.
For the campers at Kenbrook, what do you hope they take away or they took away from this experience?
Well, I hope first that they really remember the lessons that they learned, the experiences that they've had. I hope that they know that God loves each one of them individually right where they are. I hope that with their parents' help, they might understand that there are adults in their church or other places in their community where they might safely go and find someone who understands them, understands their language, and can show God's love to them. And I also hope that they learn how to take better care of their belongings so that Kenbrook doesn't have a large pile of lost and found every week.
Oh, that's wonderful, though. Thanks so much for doing that. I'm sure you did have a huge impact on those campers. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
If you would like more information about Garden Spot communities or the many programs, as Don offered, that are offered to residents, check out gardenspotvillage.org. Stay with us. We're back right after the break.
Welcome back. Well, my wife and I were recently on a flight seated next to a new friend, Ludwig from Czech Republic. He's in his late 20s. He's a college graduate and one of the most interesting people I've ever met. Ludwig's English was perfect from Marvel movies, and while he's earned a college degree to make his family happy, he wasn't planning on being locked into anyone's 9-to-5 routine, at least not anytime soon. Work for him isn't about the benefits or the income stability. Occasionally even works as an actor in commercials like this one. When Ludwig and I met, he was wrapping up a job in D.C. as a lifeguard the full summer in America. He's now in Japan with friends on another short work adventure. Before making a judgment on Ludwig or his peers in that generation, know that he is still sorting out the big questions of life, but he's doing it on his own terms, not someone else's. Young people like Ludwig know there is more to life than money or new cars in the garage or a retirement package. The next time you meet someone like him, go deep. Share your story, share your faith, share your failures, share your entire story, all of it, the truth of it. Because Ludwig is right. The good life really isn't about money at all. For Deborah and the entire Morning Light team, I'm Jeff Coleman. Thanks for watching today. Today would be a great day to go and check on your neighbors, and we will look for you back here tomorrow morning, God willing, right here on Morning Light.